going to sit side on, just so you can see what's happening with my alignment more than anything else. And if you want to, like I said, feel free to sit yourself onto blocks or pillows, maybe just one or two, just to help lift you out of the floor and lift you out of your hips. It can just make it a little bit more comfortable initially for this first little set of movements. If you can, just lengthen out the legs in front of you, bring the legs together and flex the feet, almost like your feet are up against a block or maybe even up against a wall. And if you want to, you could even move and bring yourself against a wall if it helps, because it does just help to stabilize you through legs and hips here and anchor you down. So lifting out of the sitting bones and lengthening up through the spine, drawing the rib cage down and just connecting with the deep abdominals. We're going to bring the hands just in front of the chest, so into a praying position, hands together, and you can just rest the thumbs in against the sternum, against the breastbone, just to help with positioning a little bit here so the arms don't move separately. And just relax the shoulders, connect them down on the back, and feel that you're really trying to lift yourself out of the floor. So we're going to come into a series of spine twists here. Feel free to stay at the lower levels if you need to, keep it small. You might find that your range is limited to begin with, but hopefully as you start to move, you might gain a little bit more movement. So let's take a breath to prepare. And as you exhale, just gently twist to one side without leaning back, keeping equal weight on your sitting bones. Inhale as you bring it back to the center and exhale to the opposite side. Inhale to the center and exhale opposite side. Inhale center, exhale twist. One more each side. Almost feel a sense of lifting and lengthening through the spine as you twist. Avoid sinking down into the lower back. Bringing it to the center. You could keep the hands here if you want to, or this time we're just going to take the arms out to shoulder height, palms facing down. And you can have the arms just slightly forward of the body. Don't worry about pulling them back, just so we can relax the shoulders and open the chest. And again, let's take a breath. And again, as you exhale, we're going to twist to one side like you're scanning the room. Inhale as you come back to the center. Exhale as you twist. 4 more. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Again, anchoring yourself down, equal weight on the sitting bones. Lifting and lengthening. And try and avoid moving the head separately. You're moving everything together. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Back to the center when you're ready. Keep the arms here if you can, as we just take the legs out slightly wider. And if you're sat like me on your mat, you could go about the width of your mat here and just have a foot in either corner. We're now going to come into the saw, so we're adding some flexion this time. Slightly different pattern of breathing. So we're going to inhale and twist, and then exhale as you reach down and across. Little finger to little toe, and a little finger up towards the ceiling behind you. And then we're going to inhale to restack. Exhale, come back to the center. Inhale, opposite side. Exhale as you reach down and across. Inhale to restack. Exhale, back to the center. 4 more. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach down and across. Inhale, restack. Exhale, center. So a breath per movement. And just reach down as far as you can. Almost feel a sense of trying to lift out of your sitting bones as you reach down and across. Lovely, last one. And back to the center again. One more addition to this now is taking it back behind us. Slightly different movement again. So again, on the inhale, let's twist. This time, exhale as you take the hand down to the floor behind you and reach over the head. So So opening up the front of the body here, and then inhale as we restack, and exhale as you come back to the center. Same to the opposite side. Inhale to twist. Exhale, take the hand down behind you and reach over the head. Inhale as you restack. Exhale back to the center, and 4 more. We twist, reach back and over, soften the supporting arm, restack, and back to the center. Lovely, well done. Keep it going if you can. One more each side. Last one when you're ready. And back to the center. Arms down when you're ready. And you can just bring those feet in, just loosen off those hips a little bit. So come off pillows or blocks if you're sitting on anything. And we're now going to come around onto our side. And so this is where you might want a few pillows, few blocks for underneath your head. Because we're going to come into side lying arm opening. We've done these before. So stacking the legs into your chair position. So finding that nice right angle there at the knees. Bring yourself down onto your side. And you want to bring your shoulder underneath you. So try and avoid the shoulder being hitched up under your ear. Really try and drop it down underneath you. And so the blocks or pillows are supporting your head. So you just want to make sure that you've got enough that the head is pretty much roughly in line with the spine. You're not too low and you're not too high. And it's relatively comfortable. If you feel that it's uncomfortable on the shoulder, I would suggest you probably need more head support to lift you up and out of the floor slightly and out the shoulder. So reach out through the hands in front of the chest, just stacking the arms and stacking the shoulders. So you should feel relatively square through the shoulders and nice and open across the chest. And try and find that neutral spine, lengthening the top hip and lifting out of the floor in that underside. So we're going to anchor the legs down, and it all comes from the upper spine, our thoracic region. So we're going to inhale as we start to open the top arm and reach to the ceiling. Almost feel that you're trying to lift the arm out of the shoulder, and then exhale as you take the arm back. So make sure that the legs don't follow, keep them down and avoid rolling the hips. Inhale as you reach back to the ceiling, and then exhale as you close the arm down in front of you. And again, inhale as we open and reach to the ceiling. Exhale as you take the arm back behind you into rotation. Inhale as we reach up to the ceiling. Exhale as we close it down. We're going for 6 of these. Inhale to open. Exhale to take it back into rotation. Inhale, reach to the ceiling. And exhale to close. 3 more. So just be mindful of what's happening through your lower half. Don't let the legs join in. If you feel that you're shifting the legs, don't go as far. And try and avoid flattening the waist into the floor as well. Because we want pure rotation. We want to avoid this turning into extension, which it can do quite easily if you go too far. And finish that last one when you're ready. And we're just going to try and explore a little bit more range in the shoulder now and come into arm circles. So a very similar movement, but a little bit more range in the shoulder. So on an inhale now, we're going to send the arm up and over the head, circle it round behind you. So again, you come into that nice rotation. And exhale as you bring the arm all the way around over the top of the legs and finish the circle. And again, inhale to come up and over the head, circle it round. Exhale as you finish the circle. 1 more in this direction. Inhale to start your circle. And exhale to finish the circle. And then we're going to change direction for 3 more. So this time, inhale as you take it over the leg, back behind you, and all the way around over the head as you exhale. 2 more. So just the same, avoid the legs joining in, avoid flattening the waist into the floor, little bit more range, just follow the hand with your eyes, and finish your last one when you're ready. Well done. Fab. So from here, we're just going to move our blocks out of the way, and we're just going to roll it round onto our back and down onto the floor into our relaxation position. So let's just take a moment, tucking the feet in towards us, feet and knees about hip width apart and in parallel. And just to start with here, if you want to, feel free to place your hands maybe just on top of your hips, on top of your pelvis, because we're going to really try and focus on mobilizing the pelvis and the lower back. So we're going to start with some pelvic tilts. So we're going to think forward and back to help. I like to use the imagery of a compass, so you've got north and south, east and west on either hip. You could think of a clock as well, very similar imagery if that's your preference. So let's think about north and south, so towards your belly button and then towards your pubic bone. So let's inhale, exhale as you tilt the pelvis towards you, up towards north, and you're flattening the lower back gently into the floor. And then inhale to neutral, exhale as you then tilt away to south, tucking the weight towards your tailbone and just increasing that lumbar curve slightly. Inhale neutral, exhale to tilt to north. Inhale neutral, exhale to tilt to south. And let's just do a couple more in each direction. So just a nice classical pelvic tilt to begin with. So just starting to mobilize and release some of those muscles around the lower back and the hips. And then just settle yourself back into neutral. We're now going to think about either side, so east and west if you're thinking of a compass. So again, inhale, exhale as you try and tilt the pelvis to one side. So you're lifting one side slightly out of the floor. Inhale as you bring it back to neutral. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, tilt. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, tilt. Again, a couple more in each direction. And if you are a little bit limited here, just work with whatever movement you have, almost getting a rocking effect this time from side to side through the pelvis. You should feel that one side lifts a little bit higher than the other. East and west, if that helps with imagery. And then again, bringing it back to neutral. And now this time I'm going to add all that movement together. We're going to try and get a nice circular movement. So a compass or a clock can really help with the imagery of this. So I'll talk about a compass. Feel free to think of a clock if that's easier. So inhale, exhale as you start to tilt towards north again to begin with. And now just take yourself over to one side, coming round your compass, and then all the way down to south, back around on the other side and returning to north. And we're going to circle roughly 3 times one way, and then 3 the other. So you're working around your compass or around your clock. And then when you've roughly done 3 in one direction, see if you can change direction and go the other way. This is a really nice way of working through the lumbar spine, releasing any tightness that you might have there this morning. And finishing your last one, bringing it all the way back to north, and then return yourself to neutral. So you're now in the middle of your compass or your clock, nicely settled through the pelvis into neutral. And now let the arms just rest down by your side, and we'll focus on a little bit of work in the upper spine now through head and neck, so the cervical spine here. So imagine now that you have a pencil strapped to the end of your nose and it's pointing straight up towards the ceiling, and we're going to imagine drawing some circles on the ceiling using your nose. So starting off nice and small, whichever direction you'd like to go. And roughly the circle's about the size of a 10p I would go for. Try and keep your shoulders relaxed and your rib cage down. And then just slowly start to spiral the circle out, a little bit bigger each time. Just starting to move through head and neck a little bit more. Let's just go for a couple more, taking it out bigger and bigger. And then we're going to spiral back in. And just slowly making it smaller as we come back in. Returning to roughly the size of a 10p. And then we're going to do it again. Spiral out. Keeping the head heavy on the floor. Just breathe naturally. And then let's spiral back in, change direction, coming in. Making it a little bit smaller each time. Until you eventually come to a stop. And just settle the head into the floor. Really relax through the shoulders. Let's mobilize the spine now and come into our spine curls. So let's start with that pelvic tilt again. Inhale to prepare. Exhale as you gently tilt the pelvis towards you. And then continue to spine curl off the floor, peeling away, lifting the hips, coming into your bridge. And we're going to hold it here. And now let's take an inhale to float the arms up and over the head. Exhale as you start to circle the arms around and roll down through the spine at the same time. So we're bringing the arms down by our side and the pelvis back to neutral at the same time. And two more. Inhale. Exhale as you tilt and spine curl off the floor first, lifting the hips. Inhale as you float the arms over. Exhale as you start to circle round and roll it down, bone by bone. Bringing spine and pelvis and arms back to neutral. One more this way. So getting some nice range in the shoulders, as well as mobilizing the spine. If you struggle to draw down through the rib cage, don't take the arms quite as low to the floor. And finish that last one. Return yourself to neutral. And now we're going to reverse the circle. So same again to start with. Tilting through the pelvis and peeling the spine off the floor. Again, finding the height into your bridge. And this time as you inhale, you're going to take the arms out to the side, coming up over the head. Exhale as you start to float the arms down and roll down through the spine at the same time, bringing the arms back down by your side. Well done. Two more. Inhale. Exhale again, coming into spine curl first. Lifting the hips. And then we inhale, take the arms out to the side, circling them up over the head. Exhale as they start to come over the head, floating them down as you work through the spine. Pelvis back to neutral, and one more if you can. So a bit of coordination as well for a Saturday morning. And arms down by your side, spine and pelvis all the way back to neutral. Well done. So we're just going to work into the hips a little bit here. We're going to come into some stirring in the hip joint, a little bit of rotation. So let's take the right leg just into a single knee fold position. And then bring your right hand just to rest on front of the leg there. And it's just to help with positioning, to make sure that you don't make the movement too big. So you want to keep your hand flat on the leg here. So avoid making it too big that you leave the hand. And we're just going to start to gently circle and stir into the hip joints. So whichever direction you want to go for first. And we're roughly going for 6 circles one direction and then 6 in the other. And feel this sense of stirring the thigh bone into the hip joints. Keeping it small, so you're keeping your hand on the leg, breathing naturally, and then you can change direction when you're ready. Try and stay stable, try and avoid moving too much through the pelvis. And really anchor your supporting leg down. And when you've roughly done your 6 in each direction, you should feel quite warm in that hip. Let's bring it down to the floor and do the same on the other side. So the left leg coming into knee fold, hand against the leg there in front of you. Again, trying to stay nice and stable, and whichever direction you want to go for first. 6 circles one way, and then 6 the other, keeping it small. And again, that sense of stirring the thigh bone into the hip joints. Just breathing naturally as you move. And change direction when you're ready. You might feel that it's a little bit easier on one side. And then bringing it to a stop when you're ready and lowering it down to the floor. So we're going to come into our 4 stretch now for the hips and for the glutes. We're going to add to it as well, so feel free to keep the foot down on the floor if that feels easier. So that first option, bringing the right ankle to rest on the left knee. So you come into that 4 stretch position. Feel free to keep the foot down on the floor as I said. But if you can, we're just going to take that left foot off the floor. So drawing the legs in towards you, increasing that stretch in hip and glutes. And I'm going to be a little bit mean, and we are going to add to it today. So we're going to take the hands back behind the head. So you set yourself up for curl-ups here. So cradle the back of the head in your hands, elbows in the corner of your eyes. You're going to inhale. Exhale as you nod the head, chin to chest. Curl yourself up. And we're going to hold it here if you can. If it is too much, return the foot to the floor and you can still do the movement here. We're going to take the left hand away from behind the head and we're going to just thread it through the hole here in between the legs. So you reach and you twist gently as you reach the hand through. Inhale as you just take the hand away, back to neutral. Exhale again as we thread it through. Inhale as you come out. Exhale as you thread through. So 3 more if you can. So you're allowing a little bit of rotation as you reach that hand through in between the legs, and you're getting this stretch into the hip and the glute at the same time. Last one. And then return the hand behind the head, upper body down, foot to the floor, and let's release that right leg and we're going to switch over. So left ankle onto right knee. Again, if you need to, keep it on the floor or return to the floor at any point. If you can, foot off the floor and drawing those legs a little bit closer towards you to increase the stretch. Again, coming into curl up on an out breath. Nod the head, curling up. Hold it here if you can. Take the right hand away from behind the head and we're going to thread it through and gently twist. Inhale as you come away. Exhale again as you thread it through. Inhale away. Exhale through. And just 3 more if you can. So you're almost following that hand as it reaches through, so you get a little bit of rotation. And if you need to, put the foot to the floor. Finish your last one. Hand behind the head. Lower the upper body down and foot to the floor and release the left leg. Well done. And now let's just take the arms out a little bit wider. Palms facing up towards the ceiling, and feet can come out wider as well. So I go about shoulder width now, if you can. We're going to come into a nice knee roll here to release through the spine. So let's take a breath, and as you breathe out, just let the knees, the hips roll over to the right. Allow the feet to join in and just go as far as you can over to that right side. And let's turn the head to the left in the opposite direction, just to help increase that twist. And we're going to hold it here, take a nice deep breath. And as you breathe out, let's roll it all back to the center. And then same to the other side. On the out breath, rolling hips and knees over to the left, head rolling to the right. Hold it here, take a deep breath. And out as we roll it back to the center. And let's do one more each side. Just really let the legs go. Find that nice little rotation through the spine. And all the way back to the center when you're ready. Let's just bring the arms in a little bit closer and tuck the feet back in. And we're now going to bring ourselves onto our opposite side. So depending on your orientation, you could just roll and face the opposite way to what you did earlier. Or take a moment to push yourself up from the floor and bring yourself around to the other side. And you're going to need those blocks again for arm openings. And we're going to stack the legs again into that nice chair position, right angle at the knees, down with the shoulder underneath you, making sure it's under you, not under your ear. And again, enough blocks and pillows that you feel that you're out of the shoulder and head, neck and spine are in line and in neutral. Arms out in front, stack the shoulders nice and open across the chest. So avoid rolling this top shoulder in towards the floor, finding length, finding lift, and drawing it in through the center and anchor those legs down. So we're going to start with the arm opening. We're going to inhale as we open the arm, reach to the ceiling, as if you're trying to lift the arm out of the shoulder. Exhale as you take it back into rotation, anchor the legs down. Inhale as we reach back to the ceiling, and then exhale as we close the arm down. And again, inhale as we reach up, exhale as we take the arm back. Inhale to reach to the ceiling, exhale to close it down. And we're going for 6, number 3 coming up. So make sure that you're not rolling the hips. If you are struggling to keep the legs still, then don't go quite as far. And like we did on the other side, just make sure that you're not flattening the waist into the floor as you roll back. It's pure rotation, trying to avoid any extension. And you might feel that you've got a little bit more range on one side. This is my right side, and I've definitely got a little bit more movement here than my left. Finish that last one when you're ready, and then we're going to take it into those arm circles now, again with that nice rotation, keeping the legs still again. So this time on the inhale, take the arm up and over the head, take it back behind you again into that nice rotation. Exhale as you start to bring it all the way around over the leg and finish the circle. 2 more. Inhale up and over the head and follow the arm. Exhale as you come all the way around. Inhale to start the circle. Exhale to finish, and then 3 more in the opposite direction. So this time coming over the leg, up and over the head. Again, inhale to start the circle. Exhale to finish. Again, finish that last one. Arms settling back in front of you. Well done. We're just going to take a moment again to just push ourselves up from the floor. Move your blocks again over to one side. And we're going to come around onto all fours. Let me just sort my hair out because it's just all fallen out. So here, if you want to have a little bit of extra padding for the wrists or for the knees, feel free to maybe have folded towels or fold up the end of the mat for a little bit of extra padding under wrists and knees if you think you need it. Settling into neutral, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips, connecting the shoulders on the back and lengthening out through the crown of the head, and just gently drawing in through the center. So we're going to focus on some nice thoracic rotation here, so trying to move through the rib cage. What we want to avoid as we start to move is sinking back towards the heels. So try and keep equal weight over hands and knees as we start to add the rotation. So we're going to start with a slightly smaller movement to begin with. We're going to bring our right hand to rest onto the side of the head. So the elbow is pointing down towards the floor to start with. Drawing in through the centre for a little bit of support. Let's take a breath. As you breathe out, you're going to bring the elbow down towards the left hand. So you gently rotate through the rib cage, through the shoulder. And now inhale as you press away, lift the chest towards the ceiling and elbow up with you. Good. And exhale again as we come down, elbow to hand. Inhale, press away, elbow to ceiling and opening the chest. Exhale again as you come down, elbow to hand. And inhale, press away, lifting the chest towards the ceiling. Good. One more. Lovely. And this time, bring it back to neutral and place the hand back to the floor. And we'll do the same on the other side. So the left hand onto the side of the head. Feel that you're lifting out of that right shoulder, drawing in through the centre. Again, we're going to take a breath in. And then as you exhale, first of all, bring the elbow down towards the right hand. So you get a little bit of a twist here. And then inhale as you press away. Start to lift the elbow and chest to ceiling. And then exhale again as you come down, elbow towards the hand. Inhale again as you press away, open to the ceiling. Exhale as you come down. Inhale as you open to the ceiling. One more time. Exhale to come down. Inhale to the ceiling. And then exhale, just return it back to neutral and hand down underneath. So if you want to, feel free to repeat that again. 4 on each side, or this time you are going to come into the full threading the needle, so it's a bigger movement and you've got a longer lever with the arm, so that's why it's slightly more challenging. So again, on the right side first, we're going to inhale and take the arm out and reach up towards the ceiling, again lifting and opening the chest. And now exhale as you thread the arm through. Really feel that you reach. Draw that shoulder down towards the floor and allow the rib cage to move. Inhale as you press away, reaching up again towards the ceiling. Avoid sinking back to the heels. Exhale as you thread it through. Inhale again as we reach up. Exhale as you thread it through. One more, and we're going to hold this next one. So reach to the ceiling. And then threading it through and try and lower yourself down. So you rest the arm and the head to the floor. And we're going to hold it here and take a couple of deep breaths. And then slowly just start to press yourself away from the floor and bring that hand back underneath you. And back into neutral. Well done. We're going to do the same on the other side. So left hand away. Inhale as you reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you thread the arm through. Inhale again as we reach up. Avoid sinking back. Exhale as you thread it through. Inhale as we reach up. Exhale as you thread it through. We're going to hold the next one. Inhale again, reaching up. Exhale again, thread it through. If you can, lower the arm, rest onto that shoulder and bring your head onto the floor. And hold it here, take a couple of deep breaths. And then just gently start to press your way out of the floor, bringing that arm back through and underneath you. And let's just do a couple of nice cat stretches after those, just to release the spine. So again, inhale, exhale as you tuck the tail, curl through the spine and tuck the head last. Inhale, exhale as we unravel from the tail, ripple through, and let's come into some nice extension as well, just slightly hanging in the mid-back. Inhale. Exhale as we tuck the tail, curl it through and tucking the head. Inhale. Exhale as we unravel from the tail Bringing the head through and into extension, and let's just do a couple more. Always a nice way to finish with a cat stretch. So let's finish on an extension, finishing that last one, and then just returning yourself to neutral. And then from here, let's bring the toes together, open out the knees, so you can send it back into your rest position and really sink yourself back. Lower the chest and the forehead down towards the floor. If you need to, feel free to use pillows behind the knees or underneath your head. We're just going to hold this position for a moment and focus on some nice deep breaths. So really try and let yourself settle into the floor. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And really try and feel that you're focusing the breath into the back of the body. Feel that you're expanding into the sides and the back of the rib cage. So your lateral breathing. On your next breath out, let's slowly tuck the tail under and slowly start to roll up through the spine, stacking ourselves up just briefly into kneeling. Just take a deep breath here for a moment. And now from here, let's bring ourselves into a comfortable position for some relaxation. So feel free to grab some pillows, maybe lie yourself onto your back or onto your side, or even sit yourself up against the wall or onto a chair if you prefer. If you are on your back, it's quite nice to have a pillow maybe underneath your knees to take a little bit of tension out of the hips as you lie yourself down, and maybe a pillow across the top of the shoulders and supporting your head. So you're taking some tension maybe out of the hips and the lower back if you feel any there. Just allow yourself to get comfortable and settle yourself into whichever position you'd like to be in. And just start to take some long, slow, deep breaths. Breathing in fully and exhaling slowly. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your stomach expand on an inhale and relax and let go as you exhale. Begin to shift your attention from outside to inside yourself. Begin to let go of noises around you. Bringing your focus to your breathing. Observe the natural rhythm. Breathing naturally and full. Take your awareness down to your feet and soften the soles, uncurling the toes. Soften your ankles, soften your calves. Release your knees, release your thighs. Allow your hips to open. Allow the small of your back to open and release. Feel and enjoy the length of your spine, but let it go. Take your awareness down to your hands. Stretch your fingers away from your palms and feel the center of your palms opening. Then allow the fingers to curl and the palms to soften. Allow your elbows to open. Allow the front of your shoulders to soften. With each out breath, allow your shoulder blades to widen. Allow your breastbone to soften. And allow your neck to release. Check your jaw. It should be loose and free. Allow your tongue to widen at its base and rest comfortably at the bottom of your mouth. Your lips are softly closed. Your eyes are softly closed. Enjoy the soft darkness. Your forehead is wide and smooth. Your face feels soft. Your body soft and warm. Allow your body to sink into the pillows or the chair supporting you. And observe your breathing. Breathing naturally and full. Slowly start to bring your awareness back into the room. Maybe notice any noises around you and start to bring your attention outside of yourself. You can slowly start to move and slowly bring yourself up from the floor and out of your relaxation. Take your time. Well done. Thank you very much, as always. Good timing, Sprite.